This is the Innova 5610 scan tool. Now it might look just like a typical code reader. However, what separates this thing from the pack is it does bidirectional controls and it scans all modules. Now you could check things like your ABS, your airbag modules, you name it, this thing will get in there and tell you what's going on with it. Now what separates this thing from the pack, from the other scan tools that you can buy in the market, is they offer a really intuitive app that pairs with this thing via Bluetooth. And that's really the cool part. So I'd like to get into this today and show you how to use it. We'll just show you the basic functions, and then I'll show you that nitty-gritty, pretty cool part that allows you to use the app with this device. So let's dive right into it. Before I plug this thing in, I want to give a shout out to Innova for sponsoring today's video and sending the 5610 device. So let's get this thing plugged in and let's see if we can figure this truck out, and I'll show you how this thing works. All right, for starters, this is just like any other scan tool where you just plug it into your OBD2 port underneath your dash. Once you locate that, the scan tool will be powered up. You need the key on. All right, I'll just show you the full function here. The thing is looking for its protocol. And once they're plugged in, all right, we had a Mazda B series truck, which is correct. So we can click enter here. That is my vehicle. And we have an idle air control circuit issue, P1504. We can check out freeze frame data right from here. Once it detects the code, kind of shows you the parameters when it's set. And this is all useful information. Now let's go back to the main menu. You can check live data from here on out. And now once we fire the truck up, we can check for things like this. So let's just do that. Let's just fire the truck up and just watch our percentages, see what changes here, and see if we have any values that represent what's going on here. And the thing won't idle. You can see it's commanding some percentages, and we're not getting what we want. So we definitely have some issues with the idle air control valve. Now, before we get into going into anything serious with the problem with this truck, I'll just show you just quickly what you can do with this thing. You can do all module scans. We'll just do that just to show it. And the only things detected, obviously, were from that PCM, but it's kind of a cool feature that you can scan all modules just to see if there's anything else floating around that you should be concerned about. You have your generic OBD2. You can do it manufactured like this. ECM live data, you just hit this live data button, it will bring you to live data immediately. And then if the vehicle supports it, you can do bidirectional controls as well, which I think this one does not do it on this older vehicle, but the other vehicle I did try it on does allow you to do bidirectional controls. So now let me get into the cool feature of this scan tool with how they just kind of went around doing this with the app, because this really makes it the powerhouse that it is. This is Repair Solutions app. You can see right here I downloaded it, and I already went through this with the truck, but once you're in the app, you can connect the scan tool, you can pair it. It's going to search for it right now via Bluetooth, and you found it, the 5610, as you can see right here. We'll continue pairing that device. It has successfully been paired, and now it's going to retrieve the data from the device to the phone, all through Bluetooth. Here it found the truck, and the report feature is actually the really cool part. If you're doing things like trying to search for a new car or buy a new car, this thing offers a whole bunch of data. Now you can see the two codes found. Let's click on it, results. And then it will show you in the PCM. Here's our things not complete. We have readiness monitors that haven't been completed. And then that circuit fault, of course. Now you have tech docs in here. So if you're running this, if you're trying to figure this stuff out and you needed, let's just say diagrams or something like that, you can access all the OE service manuals here. There's a monthly access per VIN, but you can get in here and get all this information right at your fingertips, which is really cool. Now this is what's pretty cool about these features in this app. You can go through here and you can get detailed reports. You can get all the dealer recalls on this thing. There's recalls for the wiper multi-function switch, as you can see right here. Some seatbelt issues that they had, some cruise control deactivation stuff. So that's all the dealer recalls. You have all the access to the TSBs. You know, if you had fuel and spark issues, let's just click one just to show you. Spark plug installations, caution removing. And then there you go. You have access all the way to the TSBs itself, how it tells you to use caution, yada, yada, yada. Anyways, you kind of get it. There's all the TSBs that you have access to. And this is all comes with the device as well once you download the scan, or once you download the app. Now, it does ask you to take a picture of the VIN, and it can do an enhanced VIN decode, which I did, and I just wanted to see it because it shows you everything, that the style of the truck, what's in the truck. So if there's any confusion about the VIN, if the VIN was in jeopardy or anything like that, this would tell you that. You know, it tells you where it was made, what kind of color it was supposed to be, you name it. You have access to all that right in here, which is a really cool feature. And it saves all this stuff, so you can have detailed reports, you name it, and all that stuff is saved in this device, in this app. So if you wanted to update things, you can. You can see cost of ownership, where you could put, you know, how much fuel you use. This is a 5-year total cost breakdown. You know, insurance cost, mileage usage, cost per gallon per fuel, all that stuff. Kind of a pretty cool little feature that they throw in here too, with a little calculator on the vehicle. But again, all that stuff you have access to. All right, now that I've showed you kind of how to use the tool and kind of some of the features, let's get into repairing this truck. Now, I did adjust this so I have a custom data stream. I just have the idle air control percentage, the amperage being put out, and if it's in a control fault state. We are in an open shorted to ground state. As you can see right here, we are open/shorted to ground. So we definitely have something on the electrical side that's an issue with this. So I'm going to look into it right now, and we will see if we can get it figured out. It's probably going to most likely be an idle air control valve itself. All right, so the intake air control valve is back here. I did test this wiring back here. It's kind of hard to do with kind of one hand, but we do have signal from the computer and everything, so this is all good. I'm going to replace this idle air control valve. We will clear the codes, and we will check it again, and we'll see if we can get this thing to idle. And I will show you how to do that with the scan tool. All right, that new idle air control valve is in. This is what the old one looks like, as you can see. All right, got this thing fired back up here. Let's do some erasing the DTCs. Erase was successful. All I did is hit the erase button right there. And we will see if we got any. All right, so we just have P1000, which is a common Ford/Mazda code when you have everything reset because the monitors aren't completed. As you can see, we have no fault is present. Let's get this thing to start and see if it'll idle. Just like that. It's commanding now, 48, 47%, and we have our half of an amp output here. And just like that, we are good to go. No more check engine light. That's all off. And we fixed her with the Innova 5610 scanner, just like that. Well, there you have it, the Innova 5610 scan tool. I know this was kind of a quick video on it. There's a lot more it can do. However, this is kind of what I wanted to show, kind of in the field usage. And this was a quick repair. Didn't have a whole lot of time to show you the whole breakdown of the repair. I'm hoping I can get a couple of vehicles with a lot more computers and intuitive stuff, because some of this older stuff isn't really supported by many things anymore anyways, but this one still does read it and give you all the information that you need, and it offers that Bluetooth ability. So again, huge shout out to Innova for sending me the scan tool. Thank you again. And you guys, if you're looking for one of these things, I will put a link in the description. They sell them on Amazon. Great product. For a scan tool, look no further. Thanks for watching.